put you on a way. I just put you on a way.
What's up guys, welcome back to another Let's Cook My Guide. Today we are going to be cooking spaghetti and meatballs because Jacquelyn was really craving spaghetti and meatballs. So that's what I'm going to be cooking up for you guys today. Today's recipe I got from foodnetwork.ca. It was on one of these shows that Rachel Ray has called 30-Minute Meals. So the recipe will be in the description down below. I'll put the link for it there. So these are the ingredients you're going to need. For the meatballs, you're going to need these right here. And then for the sauce, you're going to need this. Okay? So pretty much I'm just gonna be following ingredients and that's pretty much it. And you guys know the first thing we gotta do before we start anything is wash our damn hands. First thing you gotta do, preheat the oven. So we're gonna be preheating the oven to 450. Bam, that's set, ready. All right, so the first thing we're gonna be getting ready is the meatballs. So you're gonna need all your ingredients for the meatballs. So I'm gonna go get mine right now. Oh yeah, and one thing I forgot to mention is that for this recipe, I'm gonna be doubling up the recipe because there's gonna be a few people eating this and the portion serving was only 4. So for this recipe, you're gonna need a bowl, a pretty big bowl to mix your meat in. For me, I'm gonna be using a pretty big bowl because I'm doubling up the recipe as I said. And then to cook the meatballs, you're gonna need a baking sheet and some aluminum foil. So for the meatballs, you're gonna mix up all the ingredients for the meatballs as said in the ingredients list. For the meatballs, you're gonna put those all in the bowl and then mix them together. And then once your meatball mix is stirred and mixed up and your ingredients are together, you're gonna make them into 1.5 inch balls and then put them on your baking tray and then bake them for 10 to 12 minutes. So we're gonna be adding our meat in there. Bam, meat. And always clean up as you go, guys. You know, keeps your area more easier. So for this recipe, it asks for Worcestershire sauce, but if you guys don't have it, you can always use soy sauce because soy sauce is basically like a substitute for it. So that's what I'm gonna be using for this recipe. Bam, soy sauce. The recipe calls for 2 teaspoons of Worcestershire sauce. So I'm doubling up my recipe, so I'm gonna be adding 4. 1. Soy sauce is more stronger flavor than Worcestershire sauce, so I'm only gonna be doing 3 to keep it a little bit more milder, so the soy sauce doesn't like take up all the flavor. The recipe asks for 1 egg, I'm doing 2. Bam. Next, we're gonna add breadcrumb. This asks for 1/2 cup, so I'm gonna be doing 1 full cup. And a lot of breadcrumbs nowadays, they come with pre-seasoned stuff. So that's what I'm using. You can always use plain breadcrumbs and then add your own spices to it. All right, there we go, 1 cup. Bam. Next, we are gonna be adding Parmesan cheese, grated of course. 1/2 cup is what we need for this recipe. Bam, 1/2 cup. I'm gonna need a cutting board to chop up the garlic. It asks for the garlic to be chopped up, so I'm gonna be doing that right now. So the recipe asks for 2 garlic cloves. I'm gonna be doing 4. All right, so the last thing we are gonna be adding is salt and pepper. So just basically season it up how much or how little you want it to be. Now you just mix it up. All right, so that's the meat. All right, so you're gonna need a baking tray, and obviously you don't wanna ruin your baking tray, put some aluminum foil down. You're gonna wanna coat your tray with a little bit of olive oil so the meatballs don't stick, and it adds for a little bit more flavor, you know. All right, so now you're just gonna roll them up into inch-sized meatballs. So that's the size you're gonna wanna make your meatballs into right there. So I'm just gonna make my meatballs now. All right, so now that the meatballs are done, we're gonna take them to the oven. So as I said before, the oven is preheated 425. I think I said 450 before, but it's supposed to be 425. So now we're gonna put them in for 10 minutes. Bam. And we'll let them cook. All right, so now that we got the meatballs cooking, we are gonna start on a sauce now. So for the sauce, you're either gonna use a saucepan or a pot. I'm gonna be using a pot for this one. So the first thing you gotta do is you're gonna saute garlic and the onions. So first things first, before we start cooking anything, I will chop up the onion and the garlic once again. So this recipe for the sauce, you're gonna need 4 cloves of garlic. So I'm gonna need 8 cloves of garlic for this. So all of that will be our garlic. And then we need 1 small onion. So we're gonna do, you can do a medium onion or 2 small onions. So here I have the onion. I'm gonna do that first because you know I don't wanna cry for that long, or I don't wanna leave the crying for last. So I'll do that first. So for the onions, depending on how you like your onions, you're gonna wanna cut them thin or thick, depending on your own preference or your family's preference, whatever they like. So if they don't want to have the texture of the onion, you're gonna wanna cut these pretty small so that they, when they're cooking, they'll pretty much just dissolve into the sauce for flavor. All right, so next, I'll just move on to the garlic. You do the same thing as you did for the meatballs. You're gonna finely chop it up and then add it to the pot. All right, so in there, I have the chopped onions and the chopped garlic. I'm not gonna be adding the crushed red peppers because people here don't like spice. So I'm gonna keep it not spicy. So just gonna add oil to this.
If I eat spice, I'll die.
Yeah, she'll die. Just add a little bit more. Little sauce. I'm gonna let this cook off for about 5 to 7 minutes. And then we will be adding the rest of the ingredients for the sauce. All right, so our meatballs are ready now. So I will be taking them out of the oven. All right, so for the last part of the sauce, you're gonna be adding the tomato sauce. I got 2 cans of it. Bam. Crushed tomato, that is. The recipe asks for beef broth. So I'm gonna be adding 2 of those because it asked for 1, but you know, I'm doubling it. Bam. And then the fresh herbs, which is parsley and basil. So the basil, you can either chop it up or you can rip it up. So we're gonna bring this to a simmer and then cook it for 10 minutes long. Then it should be ready to go. And also, right over here, I have my pot of water for the noodles. So while you're waiting for this, you can also cook your noodles. Or while you're doing everything, you can cook your noodles. So our sauce is finished. I'm just waiting for the noodles to finish. And I'll serve it up and show you guys the final dish. All right guys, so here's the final dish completed. Sauce, noodles, and the meatballs all together. That's how it's gonna come out if you guys do the recipe as followed in this video. Meatballs taste amazing, sauce is amazing. So if you guys are spaghetti and meatballs type person or lover or fanatic, I know there's lots of them out there, you can guys try out this recipe, watch this video, try it out for yourselves and see how it tastes. All right guys, that's gonna do it for this episode of Let's Cook My Guy. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys watch this video and try out the recipe for yourselves and see how good it tastes. If you guys enjoyed this episode, don't forget to check out the past episodes that we have. I have 3 other episodes. Go check them out. I'll put the playlist in the description below. Make sure you go check out those other episodes. If you guys enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like down below. And if you're new to the channel and want to see more of these videos, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
I sip way too much drink. I don't think I can think. I won't try to tell lies. This blunt got